Divorce happens. In fact, it happens to almost 50% of first marriages. So let's talk about it. Welcome to Divorce Happens, a podcast to educate, inspire, support, and yes, make you laugh through divorce and beyond so that you can start fresh on the next phase of your journey. Remember, divorce happens, and then we start fresh.
You get divorced. You get divorced.
Getting divorced?
I'm getting a divorce.
You're getting a divorce.
Because she's getting a divorce.
So what if I get divorced?
Welcome to Divorce Happens, the show where we support you before, during, and after divorce with education, inspiration, and a little bit of laughter. Because as you know, divorce happens and then you start fresh. I'm Olivia Howell, and I'm here today coming at you with a quick solo episode. Just you and me to talk through something I know so many people face during divorce. Let's get started. If there's one habit almost everyone carries into divorce, especially people who have spent years holding the emotional labor, it's over-explaining. You explain why you're hurt. You explain why you're setting a boundary, why you need time, why you said no, why you feel overwhelmed, why you can't respond immediately, why the plan isn't working. You explain and explain and explain until you are exhausted. So let's talk about why you do this and how to stop. Over-explaining usually begins long before divorce. It begins in relationships where your feelings were routinely questioned, minimized, or dismissed. If every time you expressed a need, you were told that you were overreacting, if your concerns were met with defensiveness, if you learned that you had to present evidence for your emotions, then of course you have to explain yourself to survive. Your body learned a simple rule. If I over-explain, maybe they won't get angry. Over-explaining is a safety strategy, not a flaw. But during divorce, this habit becomes emotionally draining. You find yourself writing paragraphs when a single sentence would do. You justify your boundaries as if they're up for debate. You give long, gentle explanations so someone won't misinterpret your intentions. You try to present yourself as reasonable enough to avoid conflict. But here's the truth. Someone who wants to misunderstand you will misunderstand you, no matter how beautifully you explain yourself. And someone who is committed to clarity needs far less from you than you think. So how do you stop over-explaining? First, practice using one clear sentence. Not rude, not sharp, not defensive, just direct. For example, instead of, I'm so sorry, I can't pick up the kids earlier. I have this meeting and I'm trying to rearrange things. Just try, I'm not available for an earlier pickup today. Instead of saying, I'm only asking for space because I feel overwhelmed and I'm not trying to be difficult, try, I'll respond tomorrow once I've had time to process. Instead of saying, I didn't mean it that way, I'm just trying to explain that, try, that wasn't my intention. Short, steady, and neutral. The second step is grounding your nervous system. Over-explaining is a panic response. When you feel the urge to clarify, justify, or soften, pause and ask yourself, what am I afraid will happen if I say less? Often the fear is old, not current. The third step is reminding yourself that you are not responsible for managing someone else's interpretation, emotions, or reactions. Your responsibility is clarity, not comfort. And finally, remember this. Your truth doesn't need paragraphs to be valid. Your boundaries don't need justification. Your decisions don't need permission. You are allowed to say less. You are allowed to be clear. You are allowed to take up emotional space without performing an entire dissertation to prove you deserve it. Stopping over-explaining is not about being cold. It's about reclaiming your emotional energy and stepping into a version of yourself that doesn't need to defend her existence. Thanks for spending these few minutes with me. Remember, you deserve support, you deserve clarity, and you deserve to rebuild a life that feels like yours. If you need more guidance, visit freshstartsregistry.com for free resources, vetted experts, and ways to feel less alone. As always, you can send me a DM on Instagram at Olivia Howell. I'll see you next time. Divorce Happens is produced by Fresh Starts Registry, the only divorce registry platform for everything you need to begin again, including home items, hype team, and everything in between. Remember, divorce happens, and then we start fresh. We're here to support you before, during, and after divorce. Head to freshstartsregistry.com for more info.